Okay, hey there guys. So in this war we're going up against 4 Loki, which this is actually now I'm at the first war of the season. So this is the first war of the season, which it's pretty funny that we matched them this quickly in season because they were our like second to last war last time. So for my team here I have Doom, Spider-Man, and Odin. So Odin was to help out with a couple of these fights for Doom because they have the aggression buff, or if you have whoever has more buffs gains an advantage in the fight. So in this one, if they had whoever has more buffs, the rich get richer, you slowly gain, or you quickly, I guess actually have one every second, you gain a Fury. And so the idea was that with Doom I would be able to, like, with at least with these 3 buffs, I'm sorry if you hear the rain, it's raining really hard right now. That with the Furies, or with my 3 buffs, that I'd be able to do that. But right here, he actually got up to 8 Furies, and then while I'm hitting him, I forgot to keep track of the fact that there's 2 different timers for his armors, and so he goes unstoppable, and he combos me. Fortunately, it didn't do too much damage because Doom just has so much resist, and he didn't crit or anything, so that ended up working out just fine, which is good. So right here, I actually have the more buffs than him, so I have 5 of those, but I lost them all right there. But here, once I get my Fury, I'll be going up to 4 buffs, and so that should get me the stacking Fury, but because of Doom's SP3, this fight will be wrapped up pretty neatly right here. So this fight went off pretty clean. I just forgot to track his unstoppable, but this was the first fight of the season, so a little bit of nerves or just like sloppiness can always be expected. The first war never goes 100% as planned, right? There's always a little bit of like something going on. So the second node in section 1 was not placed today for me, and in a lot of the wars this season so far, I've kind of been able to like wait towards the end and then kind of go through on a single set of boots, which has been nice. So here's another Cersei. So this is I kind of want to say it's similar to the previous wars that I showed Cersei, but at the same time it is a bit different. So this is still where the Odin pre-fight's going to come in with the rich get richer power, but for every buff that she has, I have minus 10% ability accuracy, and Cersei can easily maintain 7 buffs. You'll see it right here. So right, transmutation, glancing, I was able to actually stagger it, which is kind of what I was hoping to be able to do for most of the fight, was just to stagger it, because even if it's staggered, it ends up getting, it triggers, right? And I really should have, so right here, I was able to nullify the glancing buff both times, which makes this fight just go a lot easier. With the glancing buff is when she gets the regens, and that's when she easily gains 10 or 7 plus buffs because of the regen buffs that she gets and other stuff going on. But Cersei is always such a easy fight with Mystics. Even with her glancing that one hit, it still just absolutely nuked her. Ran into her heavy because I'm dumb apparently. And then here I just threw the SP3. SP3s cannot glance, I believe. But even if this one could, it was going to do so much damage. She only has 5% health left. Cersei with basically any Mystic is just literal. It's cheesy. She just gains way too many buffs to like. She just gains way too many buffs for MD. It's so crazy, honestly. So here, this fight goes a little bit weird. This was actually one of the fights I was like least worried about. And it almost went like the worst of any of the fights. So right here, I'm switching my boosts because I need to have my science boosts on for the next fight for Spider-Man. But I wanted to use an advanced power boost in both of these fights, so that way I can nullify a lot of Howard's armors and Furies really early in this fight. Yeah, that's what I do. I used it just really, really early, so I can just start nullifying him and using my high Mystic Dispersion to try just to feed my power. I was having bad RNG there, it seems like, with the nullifying. And right there, right, my combo kind of failed mid-combo, right? Like, you saw me go for an extra light after the medium, and it didn't register the light in him. Like, it paused and then did it. Fortunately, I didn't get hit. Then there, I didn't dash in. I don't know why I didn't dash in. Here, I'm going to throw the special 2 into his block because Doom's overpowered and is unblockable. Right here, block. and not block. And he has 7 of his Furies, and that's a bit of damage. Into the block again, and 39% health. The MCG was actually in a chat that I'm in, and right after this fight ended, right, I took all the fights in one go. Right after I was done clearing my Mojo, like a little bit after that, I saw him, he tagged me and was like, yo, who took this Howard the Duck of mine? And, like, why did their Doom lose? It's like, who'd you use for it, and why is your Doom below half health? And so, that's what happened in that fight. I told you he broke my block, man. I don't know what happened there. So here with this Mojo, I like using a lot of heavies early on for kinetic transference with Spider-Man. I'm sure there's probably a more efficient way to play it, just to try to like quickly get up to the SP2. But at the 4 exhaustions, you're not gaining too much power from kinetic transference, and extra debuffs, extra damage on your SP2. And that SP2 took off 30% of his health, so it's quite a chunky SP2. Spider-Man hits really, really nicely. And right there, I kind of had just a dum-dum moment. I threw the SP2 even with the indestructible buff up, but I have 2 withers. I'm not sure why, but I'm not really draining as much power as I feel like I should have been in this fight from his getting blocked hits. Right there was a bit risky because I blocked it and he did not have a wither or anything on, so he gained a ton of power. But I was able to close out the fight pretty well, pretty quickly, even with the goof in the SP2. So all's well that ends well. This war ended extremely close. For Loki, I would say played very well. 8 deaths is a super respectable performance for most alliances. They did very well this war. We did very well as well with 6 deaths. Again, I feel like we've been giving up a lot of late deaths in these wars where we feel like we kind of won it, or we're not respecting our opponents enough, and we give up a couple silly deaths here and there right at the very end, making it look even closer than it is. But hey, that's the final score. That's how close it is. 2 deaths. We had obviously a lot of time on them, but you know, 2 deaths, 3 deaths, you're looking at time and you're getting nervous. You never know. So it was a great war to 4 Loki, great way to start off the season. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll be seeing you guys soon. Bye.